Hi, this is Rachel from the Book Mavens, and I'm filming in a different location today. I'm in my room as opposed to my son's room because his room is a disaster, and I wanted to try and have a different background that actually showed some books. You know, hey, a book reviewer showing some books in the background, shocking, right? So anyway, today's video is kind of a jumble or hodgepodge of different things I wanted to address. You may notice this huge stack of books next to me. I have a conversation about one set, and then also kind of a general unboxing that I wanted to do for you, minus the boxes. When I returned home from Greece, I did not wait to film me actually doing an unboxing. So these are, most of them anyway, are books that I got while on vacation. But I wanted to check them over. I wanted to make sure they were okay. They were not box and goodies. They were book onlys. So I don't feel like I'm cheating you out of any of the kind of more fun unboxings. I know Amanda's been really good about putting the ones that she's doing out there. So I actually have two of the books that she did, River of Shadows and Together We Burn. So you guys already got to see those unboxed with all of the fun goodies. So I actually skipped that. So I won't be showing you mine because you guys have already seen them. So, so I'm going to show you some stuff that I got when I was gone. Primarily from the Members Day sale from Bookish Box. And so that was in kind of like the tail end of May when that sale happened. And so I did get the books that I ordered from that sale while I was in Greece. Let's see what else. And I have a bookish goodie that I want to show you. Well, it's merch that I wanted to show you that came in also while I was gone, that I was very, very excited about. So definitely going to get to all of that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start, before I get into all of the books, I want to show you the really beautiful book merch that I got. I got a set of bookmarks. Now, those of you who are in the kind of book buying and special edition realm, there are a couple of well-known artists that are used quite consistently. Alethian or Alethian art, they're used quite a bit by numerous boxes. I know that Bookish Box uses them. Illumicrate has used them. I don't think Fireheart has used them for any cover art, but I know that they most likely have used them for other items. But and then there's Rosie and Thorns. Now, Rosie and Thorns is a really popular artist with Illumicrate in particular. They do all of their really cute little mugs, and I think I've shown you a mug from them. Most of the time the art's done by Rosie and Thorns. So we see them peppered throughout. Bookish Box uses both Alethian and Rosie and Thorns, so I do tend to have some items that show both of those artists. But what I wanted to show you is this beautiful set of bookmarks that came out, I think, like a year, maybe 2 years ago. So they're not available anymore, and they're kind of highly sought after, very collectible, and it's by Rosie and Thorns, and it is a set of bookmarks. There's 6 of them in total that were designed for the last book of the Throne of Glass series, so Kingdom of Ash. So these bookmarks are probably the most stunning pieces I've ever seen. And I was very excited that somebody was selling them secondhand because you can't get them from the artist anymore. They're not available, they're not reprinting them. So you have to find somebody who's willing to part with them. So I was very happy to be able to get them at a fair price. So I'm going to show them to you. They're really beautiful. You guys know that I enjoy foiling quite a bit, and these are just done so well. So you can see this one, this first one I'm going to show you says, "We are the 13 from now until the darkness claims us." So a Manon quote. So I'm going to hold it up for you to be able to kind of check that out. And you can just see that foiling. It's like foiling, but it's not completely flat. The letters are raised a little bit, but how beautiful is that? It's really nice. Now the background of them, or the back side, they're all the same, so I won't show them. It's just the front side that you can see. So that's the first one. And then we have I Will Always Find You, featuring a lead. as she's racing in the last book. Those of you who know who she is trying to find. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who's still working on the books, but look at how gorgeous that bookmark is. It's just stunning. I will never actually use them as bookmarks. They will end up going in a frame, probably like a really nice, like clear glass, longer frame. Doop, all in a row for my bookshelves. All right, so this one says, I am here, I am with you. So that is a quote from Aelin and Fenris during their horrendous experience towards the beginning of the book. And there's Fenris in his wolf form there at the bottom. But how gorgeous is that? And the quotes, they couldn't pick better quotes. I mean, honestly. And then we have, let's see, I wanted it to be you in the end. All right, so here we have Lysandra in that horrendous scene in the book, still mad at Adian. I don't think I forgave him for what he does to her, which is unfortunate. He certainly didn't deserve her in the end. All right, let's see. And then we have, who do you wish to be? And so we have Dorian pondering his life. All right, somebody who suffers immense trauma and has to learn to live with it and himself, and to decide what kind of leader he's going to be. Great story arc. And then last but not least, Fireheart, why do you cry? Because I am lost and do not know the way. So then we have Aelin featured in this one. So I just wanted to be able to share these with you guys because the art is stunning. The font that they use, this type of foiling they did, I just think that they're really beautiful. That gold against that kind of gray scale is just really beautiful, very unique, and I just love them, and I had to share them with you. All right, so moving on to the book. So the Members Day sale, the way that that works with Bookish Box, they have 2 large sales every year. So you have the one in May, the Members Day sale, and then they also have a Black Friday sale in November, like many other places do. So with this sale, they have a variety of items that are open for members. So this is a subscriber event, so you have to be subscribed to Bookish Box to participate. So they open up their member shop, so some things are discounted. They often have new items, like their joggers are really popular, and teas, like bookish teas and different items, their candles. But they always, they will, at least this past sale, they will come out with some new stuff, which is always really interesting. They had like a hooded, like fleece blanket that had like a side pocket for your Kindle or your book in it. It was really cute. I didn't get it. It was what my mom and I have deemed too dear or too precious. It was a little high on the price point for me. But what they also do, and what I was most excited about, I don't think I purchased anything but books, is that any of their previous special edition sets, or even some editions that were featured in some of the books. I know Electric Idol was available, which was in a box. It wasn't a special edition to be purchased alone. They were up. Now, it was only the special editions that had already been sent out. So any of the special editions that haven't been sent yet, that are still in the gray, I'm going to talk more about Bookish Box a little bit later, but just the ones that are kind of in the gray, they haven't been delivered yet. They hold on to any extra stock for those, of course, to replace any damaged copies if anything goes wrong. So they can't sell those ahead of actually releasing the books, right? Makes sense. But for the other series that have already shipped out, where people had opportunities to replace damaged copies, so they, of course, end up with extra stock. So they make that available during the Members Day sale for you to be able to purchase any leftover stock. So these are not reprints. They did not reprint any of the books I'm going to show you. It was just primarily leftover stock. So anybody who returned them or canceled orders, we know that they were running a little behind. So some people get impatient and they cancel, thinking that something bad's going to happen and they're never going to get their books. That didn't happen, but there were lots of sets available. It was quite a bloodbath. Everything sold out in terms of the book sets within probably a minute 30, max 2 minutes. for the really highly sought after ones. So I managed, I went after 3 sets. I got 2. I didn't get the Bargainer series, which is okay because I hadn't read them. It's okay. I can let it go. I'll be fine. But I did manage to snag a set of the Plated Prisoner books. And you guys had heard me talk about those in a previous video. I think I was with Amanda. And just how much I wanted them, and talking about the whole fear of missing out, where I let those slide by where I could have purchased them initially and didn't because I hadn't read them and had horrible regrets not doing it. And so I had arranged to do kind of a trade with some other books that I had to get a set, and my trade person ghosted me, so I was really upset. And so this was kind of like my last ditch effort to get these books, and I managed to snag them. So I think I cried when I opened the box when I got home from Greece. So I wanted to show them to you because they are stunningly beautiful. So you guys can see what I was talking about, why I was so upset that I missed out. All right, so this is the first one. So these books are by Raven Kennedy. Glow has released, so it's the 4th one in the series. I think there's gonna be 5 or 6. I'm not sure if Raven Kennedy knows for sure. Don't quote me on that. But this set was really beautiful, and I really did enjoy them. The first book's a little rough. I feel like the editing got better with the 2nd and 3rd book, and I'm going to start Glow probably tonight, so I'm very excited about that. But I wanted to show them to you. So the first thing you need to know about this set is that the cover isn't actually that cloudy. All right, there is a film covering this clear plastic cover. So don't think that if you maybe you actually have them, I've noticed, why is it so cloudy? You might not have known that there was a film on there. But those of you who are watching that know nothing about them, they are actually perfectly clear. I just don't want to remove the protective coating until I have my bookshelf ready for them to be displayed properly. So just keep that in mind if you're looking at it wondering why they look a little opaque. They're not really, they're perfectly clear. All right, so if you take this cover off, you're going to see that these gold bars actually are part of the cover and are not part of the printed book. So you can see there's some beautiful foiling. These are the digitally signed ones. I was not able to snag a hand sign set. It's okay. I'm learning to live with it. But look at the beautiful end papers. Let me see in the back. Continues. So the design runs all the way across the book, and then you can see the digitally sprayed edges. It's dripping molten gold because the Plated Prisoner series is a Midas retelling. King Midas, you know, anything he touched turned to gold. Very cool. All right, and so we have Aaron here in the front. We're not going to talk about him because if you know the book, we don't like him. So anyway, but here's the first one. It's stunningly beautiful. So happy to have it. And then the second one is Glint, and here we have Oren prominently featured. I really like this one because in terms of the book, I feel like there's a lot of Easter eggs hidden within the covers. I thought the way that they designed these was super smart. So if you know the books, you get it. All right, but the second book, Oren, our main character here, develops a lot of autonomy. So I love that she is front and centered without a man, and I think that's really important in her story. So like I said, I think they made really smart decisions regarding the art that they chose for the cover. So if you remove this one, you can see that these roses kind of come off, and there she is. All right, prominently featured, and you can see the end papers with the thorny roses. This is my favorite cover of the set. And here's our spine and our molten gold edges. All right. Where I live, it's very humid, so like the waving of the pages, that goes away when pressed flat. That is a common issue here. I should probably use a dehumidifier, but it's not. My books aren't damaged. And then the third one, you can see the story it's like twice as thick as the first two. The story does become a little bit more complex. So we can see her there with Rip, Commander Rip. And when you take this off, those ribbons are removed. And those of you who know the book know. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many great Easter eggs for this art that if you're familiar with the story, it's very relevant. So something to think about. So then we have our end papers with the golden ribbons. And of course our lovely digitally sprayed edges. So it's really beautiful. Now, my son got a hold of these books, this one in particular, and dropped it. So I have a little divot right here. It did not come damaged. Like I said, I'm learning to let things go. It's gonna be okay. I'm certainly not gonna send it back since it was my own spawn that dropped it. So it is a little dented. I'm gonna work on it and see if I can't straighten it out a little bit. But it's okay. It doesn't detract from the book at all. I don't mind little minor things like a slightly crushed corner. It doesn't detract from the overall beauty of the book. There has to be something really wrong with a book. The only book that I've ever sent back was Fairy Loot's Kingdom of the Wicked. And the reason why I sent it back is that the front cover, literally there was like a perforation, there was a hole in it. And that's something I can't fix. And it was the front cover. And I said, I'm really uncomfortable keeping it. So I reached out to Fairy Loot and I'm like, you know, it's just so hard. Like I felt I was so apologetic, which is silly because things happen in transit. And Fairy Loot doesn't always wrap. Like the stuff that comes in the box is wrapped really well, but like if you order separate editions, and that one came all the way from the UK and it was not packaged for overseas travel. Okay. And it was loose in the box. It was, there was nothing, there was no bubble wrap. It was a thing. It was a thing. Anyway, but I reached out to them and I said, you know, the book seems fine. You just send me a new cover. Like I just didn't want to have to worry about it. But they were great and they sent me another book and I actually gave my wounded copy to a student who was just really upset that she had missed out on the sale. So it worked out, but that's the only book that I've ever sent back. Knock on some wood here. This is wood. Knock on some wood. All right. And then the second set that I was able to get, I got the Married to Magic set. There is a third book coming out. I do think Bookish Box is going to do it, which I'm excited. So then all of my editions will kind of match and go together. But they're beautiful. Now, the actual cover, this is actually very close to the released copies, were beautiful. They were beautiful all on their own. Even if you don't get the special editions, these covers are available for you in the paperback and hardback. You can get them off Amazon if you wanted to, or any bookseller that you choose. But they're really beautiful. They have the lovely foiling on there. Really, really beautiful. They do have a reverse jacket. So let's see if I can, whoop, without dropping it. That would be good. These are signed. Really, really stunning. Really pretty end papers. And then the sprayed edges. I'm not totally in love with these sprayed edges. But it doesn't detract overall from the books. It's something I want to talk about regarding people's opinions and special edition boxes. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then this is the other one, A Deal with the Elf King. I think this one actually might come first. I know that they exist in the same universe, but they follow different characters. I haven't read them yet. I was really sold on the cover art. I just think they're beautiful. And you guys know at this point in time that I am a real sucker for foiling. It's something about having those titles foiled. Even though the cover art's pretty much the same, I couldn't resist. If I was able to get my hands on them, I was gonna get them. And so when the opportunity came up, I certainly took advantage of that. So here you can see there's foiling on the naked cover, and then the reverse art's pretty. I like it if you're somebody who likes more vibrant colors, that they kind of have that option. But once again, they didn't put any foiling on it. I like a reverse jacket to have some foiling, and that was a complaint I had with reverse jackets in general with Bookish Box. I felt like a lot of them were just so plain. They needed some foiling, they needed some texture, something. The art was beautiful, but it needed to be enhanced. And so I think with River of Shadows, that reverse jacket is covered in foiling and it's beautiful. I'm so torn in terms of how I want to display that, but I really like that. If you saw Amanda's video, that really beautiful kind of magenta color throughout the the edges have that lovely magenta, like dark purpley red throughout it, and the cover with the hands coming up with that magenta. I just really like it. So it's such a decision. Anyway, so hold that thought. I'm going to save that for the end. I want to do that last. So there were some other things that I got. I got a couple of things from Fox and Wit that I wanted to show you. I do not have a subscription with Fox and Wit. I do occasionally get some items from them. I have, I can show you. I got their dust jackets for the David Trilogy. I'm just going to show you the first one. So this was their City of Brass one, which I already had. All right. Now I had ordered these actually after I had ordered the For the Wolf and For the Throne ones. But I got these first. And actually they're kind of sloppy because I put them right over the original cover. Had I seen the quality of these jackets, I probably wouldn't have ordered more. I don't love these. Like I was telling you before, like if you're gonna get like a special edition jacket where you're just paying money for the dust jacket, it needs to do more for me than this. Like this is super plain. And then I'll show you something that really made me mad with the second one. Oh, hopefully nothing falls on my head. All right, so this is the second one. All right, I like the art. There's something wrong with it. It needs foiling. It needs something going on. But the spine doesn't fit the book. It's meant for a much thicker book. So that wasn't measured properly. And so I'm really annoyed about that. And they were designed to fit the particular edition that I have. So I'm a little peeved about that. So I had my fingers crossed that the new ones that I got that came when I was in Greece would be a little better. I think it's very interesting to have special edition covers for paperback books, but that's beside the point. So I got the For the Wolf one. So if you have ever seen, like the original dust jacket, or no, not the dust jacket, but the cover itself is beautiful. Like there's nothing wrong with that. It's eye-catching. You can certainly see it. This doesn't wow me. Like I said, it needed some foiling. It needed some embossing, something. So this is just very plain. I have nothing against the artwork. I think the artwork's beautiful. It just needs to be pumped up. If you're going to spend extra money for a dust jacket, I think it's to do more. But what came with that dust jacket, because I already had that one For the Wolf, is the new release, which is it's a duology. So this is the second book, which is For the Throne. So it's kind of continuing with our main character. I did a review on For the Wolf. So you guys can go back through our other videos and find that if you are so interested. But For the Throne follows her sister and her story. So you can see that the original cover looks like this, and it's gorgeous. There's nothing wrong with that cover. This one's just a little bit more, I don't know, kind of intense. She looks a little like Morticia from the Addams Family to me, but that's fine. It's fine. I don't know who that fella is there. All right, so that's her sister up there, obviously. And I'm very excited to read this. I really enjoyed For the Wolf, so I'm excited to see how the story kind of ends with her sister. But like I said, there's nothing going on. And they weren't tremendously expensive. It's not like it broke the bank to get these, but they're not reversible. They're just really plain. Pump it up a little bit, guys. Fox and Wait. You need to step it up just a little bit. And I have an Elise Kova special edition. It's her Loom Saga, because I had gotten the Married to Magic set. Why not, right? So I've seen pictures of the Loom Saga. I do think they're supposed to be more impressive than this. I certainly hope so, or I will never order from that company again. Yeah. And then the second to last new one that I wanted to show you is that I signed up for the Broken Binding, and I finally got on their list. So I'm subscribed now. So the Broken Binding works a little differently. They do back catalog titles. So these are all books that have been released years ago. And they're completed sets. They said that they're primarily trying to stick with trilogies, because they have it set up where you pay every month, and every month you get a new book. So the first month, second, and third are all going to be one set. So you're going to finish a trilogy. And so you have the option in one 12-month period to do a 3-month skip. You don't get to skip 1 month. You have to skip an entire series. So maybe it's one that you're not interested in. So the series that was before this was Joe Abercrombie's First Law trilogy, which you guys know that I'm reading that one right now. I'm in the second one. I had to take a little breather. It's kind of intense. very dense. I really like it. It's good. I need more things to happen, so I'm sure it's going to get there in the second book, but that's beside the point. But that was the series they did before this one. So it's only every 3 months that you actually get a chance to make it and be subscribed. So if you're on the wait list, don't be surprised. Like if you just got on it now, it's probably going to be at least 2 months before you hear from them, because it won't be until the next cycle of books. So, which I like. I think that's really different. So this is the first one. So this is the Winnowing Flame Trilogy, which I'm very excited about. I have had this on my TBR for a while. This was actually a really talked about book by another booktuber, Elliot Brooks, who I really like. She's really fun. So if you're ever looking for some more reviews, she's a great source. She recommends a lot of interesting stuff. She's also really into gaming, which I'm not, but she always has a lot of very interesting things to say. So she's a really fun one to watch. But she has like promoted these books extensively. So I certainly hope that she has gotten herself this set, or is getting herself this set. So she's the one who's kind of convinced me to read them. They sound really good. High fantasy. She talks about it ad nauseum. She's probably a better resource than I am since she's actually read them. But I wanted to show you. So I'm very excited, like I said, that this is a book series that I was interested in, that I had heard about. It did come with a bookmark. It also comes beautifully wrapped. There's no swag involved with any of this. It's just a book. All right, so just something to keep in mind. So you can see the end papers, nothing super special. Mine's actually a little scratched. It's nothing I'm worried about. Like I said, those kind of minor things don't bother me. But you can see it's got this beautiful foiled griffin on the cover. This is one that I will not display naked unless I was going to just display it front out, because there's nothing happening on the spine. So I'll probably keep her clothed. It is, they also are numbered, so you get assigned a number, so all of your editions that you get through Broken Binding will be the same. I actually don't even know what my number is. I have to figure out where that is. That's something that I've never done. So I gotta figure that out. It is signed, so all of your editions come signed. So that's really fun. So these books have been out for a while, so you can go ahead and pick up this trilogy. If you have read these, please let me know what you thought. They were really highly recommended. I'm looking forward to getting back into, I feel like I've taken a big break from what I would consider more serious fantasy or more complex writing. You guys saw my review that I did in Greece over my more beach read fantasies, and I was not thrilled with the Katie Robert books. They weren't for me. They just weren't for me. They were really fluffy, and I just can't do that level of fluff. There's got to be more going on. But more power to you if you love Katie Robert. She just wasn't an author for me. So anyway, the Ninth Reign. So you'll see the second and third one as I get them. Like I said, I'll be getting them in July and August. And then I'm very excited to see what the next trilogy will be. You can see that it's just basic red sprayed edges. I was hoping that they would do more of a stencil. The Joe Abercrombie series that they did before this had a beautiful stenciling that came together to make a picture across all 3 books. So I'm a little that I didn't get that level of customization, but it's still a beautiful book, and I'm still very happy to have it. Okay, so I need you guys to help me make a decision. I finally got my last book of night, which was the Bookish Boxes. So this is what it looks like. All right, it does not have a reverse jacket, which is so unusual for Bookish Box, but it's very pretty. It's very different than the other covers, so I'll show you what those look like. So I like that about this, that they at least went for a fully customized cover. It just has black sprayed edges. It did come with a page overlay, so you can put that in the books. These are becoming more popular. They did do one for Together We Burn, that other book that Amanda showed. I think she showed off the page overlay. It's really pretty. But anyway, so guys, you have to help me out. I have 4 copies of Book of Night. No one needs 4 copies of the same book. Okay, so you guys have got to help me make a decision. So here's our first one. So you guys can see, it has a page overlay. It has custom end papers. It's whatever. It's digitally signed. It's not hand signed. So this is what we have going on. So this is choice number 1. The other one I have, so this is the US cover. All right. This one is my only signed edition. So this is hand signed, so you can see it. It's just it's the US cover. Now this was a special edition. It was Books A Million special edition, so you can see it does have end papers. And here you can see, maybe, hold on. It is signed. It is actually signed. You can see the marker break in it and everything. She does keep the same signature though. A lot of people were struggling, like Illumicrate and Bookish Box, like half the books supposedly were hand signed and half were digital. Both of them did that because there was a contract issue between the two of them having the same book, whatever. It's like a whole big saga. And but I think both of mine, my Illumicrate and my Bookish Box, I think they're digital, but they all look exactly the same. So I understand people's confusion. All right, so I have those, and then I have Illumicrates. I do not have Fairy Loots because I don't have Fairy Loots adult subscription, so I don't have that one to choose from. But this is Illumicrate, so they did something stuck. There we go. Sorry, it was like a little piece of food or something stuck on the back of that one. It's fine. So they kind of reversed the colors. So they did black here, or white, and then black on the inside, and you can see. To me, they did the most customization regarding the foiling. I know Fairy Loots, I did see it. They stuck with the darker background. The white's quite appealing, but they also have a heavily foiled naked book as well. But this is the Illumicrates, so it's just plain black stencils. And then the last one I have is Waterstones. This is their exclusive edition, but it's not a signed exclusive edition. So it does have the sprayed edges. Boop, boop. So you can kind of see those. The color's a little different than what you got with the US cover, because this is the UK cover, but it has nothing special on the naked book. You would never display it naked. No end papers, no anything, but it does have the pretty stenciled edges. It's the only one that I saw that had stenciled edges that I had access to. So there's all 4. So go back through, let me know in the comments which edition that I have. Don't say, oh, I think Fairy Loots is the best. That sucks. Don't do that to me, guys. I don't have Fairy Loots, okay? But out of the 4 that I have, which one should I keep and which 3 should I unload? Please let me know. Please make the decision for me. I don't want to do it. So that's all of the books I have to show you today. Uh-oh, someone's not happy. I do have, I'm still waiting on Fairy Loot June box. I skipped Illumicrate's June box. I don't even remember what the book is. It is what it is. I have so many subscriptions going on right now. Who knows? I don't remember. So it must not have been like highly anticipated. There are some things coming out that I'm excited about. Bookish Box on July 1st is releasing Glow, which I already told you has already released, but their special edition becomes available for pre-order on that day. So I'm excited about that. That's my only special edition outside of my boxes that I'm anticipating for July. So I'm hoping it'll be a little bit of an easier spending month for me. We'll see. But there is something that I wanted to address in this video. I'm gonna get serious. I don't understand the level of hate Bookish Box is getting on social media. I've been with this company now for a year. It's very interesting since I've only been on TikTok since like the holiday break, so like January. And there are some people on Booktok that just seem to make it their personal mission to slam Bookish Box. You guys know I don't rep for any companies. When I do, I will let you know. Don't you worry. But, or if. But they have gone after Bookish Box. I don't quite understand the level of hate. And the reason why I want to talk about it is that other people who do unboxings and do different things are talking about how many comments they read and how it's turned them off the Bookish Box. to where they're canceling orders, that they don't want to participate based on these comments that these other book talkers are making. And I wanted to try and talk about that in a more balanced way. Okay. One of the main complaints people have about Bookish Box is how delayed they are. When I signed up for Bookish Box, which was last summer, they had on their website, "We are delayed. Our books are delayed." They release shipping updates. I think it's like every Sunday or Monday night. And then people complain that the updates, looks like they just copy and paste them. Well, yeah, because if you have a crate shipping from China and it's still in the water somewhere, and the next week it's still in the water somewhere, guess what, folks? That email is going to look identical because they don't have any new information to share. I don't know how you want them to rephrase that information, or why you're so insulted that they might recycle parts of a previous email if they don't have any new information to share. I don't know why people find that to be personally offensive. To me, that's efficient. So, issue number one. All right. Regarding shipping updates, I don't understand why people get on Booktok and talk about the delays. You shouldn't be shocked. I knew when I bought into the subscription that they were delayed. Did you miss the memo? I don't get it, because I knew from the get-go. And I think it's interesting because it's a conversation I had with Amanda, because Amanda was getting frustrated that her boxes weren't coming. And I said, girl, I told you at the get-go, they're not going to be here for like 3 months, because that was when they were really behind. But I know that she gets frustrated because, or she did, she's not now, but she got frustrated that, you're paying for a service every month and then you're not getting it every month. I understand that frustration. I get it. But you should also go into the situation eyes open. They didn't try to trick you. They were honest about it from the get-go that they're delayed. So unless you're willing to wait for that delay, don't sign up. Then you're just going to be frustrated. No one's forcing you to sign up for anything. Don't sign up. Wait till they get caught up and then see if there's availability. Their adult box is very popular. It's very popular. Sorry, my kid's having a freak out, wants to get in the freezer. There must be ice cream in there. And it's locked. Anyway, a lot of the subscription boxes have long wait lists. I waited almost 6 months to get on Fairy Loots. It is what it is. They're highly sought after and they're limited. Stick with it. If it's important to you, it doesn't hurt you to stick on a wait list. All right. They're going through it however it is that they go through it. It's their business. I don't know what to tell you. What else did I want to say about it? I think that some people, there's a person in particular that I feel has made it their personal mission to bring down the Bookish Box. I'm not going to name names. All right. If you spent any time in Booktok, you know who I'm talking about. That just are looking for like all of this devious behavior. And I get really tired because it's bordering to me on slander. You can make up a bunch of stuff. It's really easy to say, well, are they telling the truth? And then you're planting these seeds in people's minds. You have no proof that they're lying to anyone. Because as somebody who has a subscription, I know about the delays. They tell me about the delays. I get updates every week. I don't know, these people need to check their spam folders. They need to do something because they're updating all the time. They update on Instagram. They update on Facebook. They update through email. Where are you? You must not be on social media at all to not find this information. And like in terms of the quality of the books, they do manufacture in China. Illumicrate doesn't. I don't know about Fairy Loot. I don't think I've looked. For the pricing that they're doing, that's what they feel like they can afford. That's who they went with. They're not the only ones, but I don't know why they get so much hate. There's another box called the Arcane Society that's people are very excited. It's hotly anticipated. They haven't sent any books out yet because guess what? Their books are sitting on a crate, I think actually outside of San Francisco right now. They haven't been unloaded. Why aren't they getting the same level of hate as Bookish Box? They're being manufactured in China. No one's coming after them. Why is it just the Bookish Box? And with this individual, they had apparently, from what I've been able to piece together, because I'm trying to figure out why is this person so invested in going after this company, and that they had made some comment regarding a set of books that was late. Now, people have got to get over the COVID situation. There were books that were put out for pre-order during COVID. Everything slowed down in COVID. So I don't know why people are shocked. It sucks to have books pushed back, but guys, these are not like life-saving medicines, okay? These are special edition books. Like, be patient. It's gonna be okay. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. People need to quit being so serious. It's okay. And anyway, somebody in the Bookish Box company apparently had posted where they were in their room talking about something, promoting something. And so this person made a comment that apparently had some kind of like double meaning, I guess was slightly sexual. And Justine, who runs Bookish, apparently came after this person, and said how inappropriate it was. And so this person got offended and has now, like, they had some exchanges. I don't know what those exchanges were. I just know that they had them. And so now this person feels vindicated going after this company because of this kind of personal exchange that happened between him and the owner of the company. Now, as somebody who is a teacher, I actually really admire that the owner of the company is coming out and protecting their employees, regardless of what you think is happening in terms of exchanges between customers and employees. The fact that she's coming out and she's supporting her employees, and as a teacher, sometimes we don't get that level of support, and I really admire that she'd rather take the heat than her employees. And I don't think that that's a bad way to run the business. And you can come at me in the comments about it if you guys have an opinion about that, you think that's wrong, or you have more information about this particular situation. I'd love to know. But this is like getting into a rant. Like, I just don't get it. And I don't understand why any of these interactions required that level of hate. And I know with the Crave editions, there was a mistake. They misprinted a dust jacket, and it's misprinted on the hardcover. I understand that frustration. To me, I kind of think it's funny. But that's because people don't want to embrace quirkiness in their books. Or at least not Bookish Box being quirky and having mistakes. No, Bookish Box is supposed to be perfect all the time. But it was like Illumicrate or Fairyloot where their books were printed upside down. So the cover was this way, and then all the print was upside down. And people were like, haha, it makes it interesting. So why is it okay for these other companies to have mistakes and not Bookish Box? I'll be out in a minute, baby. Go on. He loves to be in here. He knows I'm in here filming. He loves the camera. He's actively trying to get that door open. But as I was saying with this Crave edition, so they came out and they said, yes, there was a mistake. We're going to send out newly printed dust jackets. We can't do anything about, I think there's 4 books in that set. We can't do anything about the hardcover. We can't reprint it. They're still a small business. And that's the best we can do. I don't think that there's anything nefarious about that. That's the best they can do. And I think it's kind of funny. It's supposed to be a 4. It's a 6. So why can't people embrace the quirkiness of that and just realize, I mean, because if we want to think that these books are going to somehow hold value, why that would be. The thing is, like, sometimes you want misprints. You want books to have these little kind of F-ups because it makes them more valuable. So, like, why not embrace it? Because honestly, the way most people treat these special editions is they want them to look pretty on the shelf. I know many people who don't even read them. They're primarily decorative items. The majority of mine are decorative items. Okay, I'm not really looking to like read through my Plated Prisoner series with those stenciled edges. Like, I'm just not. I read those digitally. But so what difference does it make? And they're beautiful dust jackets. I've not seen anybody who's looking to display those naked. There could be, and I would understand, But to me, then there's just a piece. Like, look, I don't know, these they printed the wrong number on it, and just like have a laugh. Like, people need to not be so serious. There are so many other more serious things happening in the world than to get upset over a numerical misprint on a book. And besides all that, let's just set that aside. That if you cannot find that funny, or to forgive it, or to just take the dust jacket and move on, you can, within so many days of receiving your package, you can send it back for a full refund. Those books, even with the misprint on any kind of buy-sell trade group, Mercari, eBay, are selling for far more than what people paid for them. You're not out anything. So if you just cannot get over that misprint, you can resell them, or when you got them, you could have sent them back for a full refund. Those were options available to you. And everyone who is complaining about how long it takes those books to get here, you can call and cancel your order. All Bookish is going to do is say, okay, we'll give you back your money, and that stack of books that you ordered, that pre-ordered set, gets set aside. So either they're going to use it to replace damaged books in transit. All right, I've never had a damaged book from Bookish Box. Once again, knock on wood. Now mine will come horribly damaged. All of it's insured. It doesn't matter. Bookish Box doesn't cost them any money. It's whatever. All they're going to do with those edition sets is they're going to set them aside, and then they're going to wait. They're going to wait for the Black Friday sale. They're going to wait for a Members Day sale, and they're going to put them on sale again. Because we all know what the mistake is. They don't even have to sell them as wounded. This is what it is. We're going to sell it with this new dust jacket. Ta-da! And you think those aren't going to sell? Because people are still actively seeking those sets. So you haven't done anything to Bookish Box. Nothing. So if you're unhappy with how long it's taking, cancel the order. If you don't like the way that the design things, I know people had a fit about like the edges for this, the stenciled edges. They thought it looked like honey. They wanted them to be metallic, but they didn't think it looked like gold. I'm sorry, I've read the books. This is clearly molten gold. It's molten gold. That's what it is. That's a design choice they made. All right, that's their business as a company. You don't like the designs, you don't have to get them. People complain about Fairy Lit too, where everything's purple. You know, you just can't make everyone happy, but it's such a great thing that there's so many different boxes you can try out. So, like I said, I'm not trying to say that Bookish is perfect. They're not. Their delays suck. Sometimes it's exasperating to have things get pushed back because things aren't perfect or something came damaged and they have to replace it. It is what it is. And you either can exist in that reality or get out of that reality and sign up for another box. There are many available. So I'm going to get off my soapbox regarding Bookish Box, but I just wanted to kind of share my reflections on that and to try and understand the level of hate, because to me that level of hate does not equal what's actually happening. And customer service is a subjective experience. I've never had a bad experience with any of the customer service from any of the boxes. Now, I don't know, and I always, when you hear people comment on social media, you don't always get the full story, because I know that there was somebody who posted saying that Bookish Box in particular was forcing them to pay shipping costs back, and I said, well, that's weird because that's not their policy. And other people were peppering this person with questions and questions and questions. Well, it turns out that their original post was completely incorrect. It is her fault. And if it's your fault, then you have to pay the consequences and pay for the shipping back. She had it sent to a box, like a post office box or something or other, and she didn't pick it up within the time frame in which she had to pick it up. So that post office sent it back. So she had to pay for it to be resent. That's on her. That's a failing she made. Why should Bookish Box have to pay for that? So sometimes you have to kind of peel back the layers in terms of what's really going on. And it's not to say that, you know, you could just get somebody who's having a bad day, who is curt or insensitive to what's going on, where you've had a bad experience with customer service. I'm not trying to invalidate anybody's experience or say that it's not serious. It could be. I'm saying from my subjective experience, I've not had a negative experience with anyone. So take that for what you will. So I have rambled on long enough for you. Like I said, it was a bit of a rant. But I hope you enjoyed seeing these special editions. I show them to you because I love them, and I think that they're beautiful, and I think that they're pieces of art, and I really like sharing with you all of the really beautiful things, because why wouldn't I like to share beautiful things with you? And I just wish everybody a really great night, and that we find other things to worry about that aren't special edition books, and embrace the good in life and try not to live in this spiral, this downward spiral that some people are in regarding just dissatisfaction with things in their life. So I really hope that that we can rise above that a little bit. I don't think so. I think Booktok is pretty negative about it, but it is what it is. Anyway, next week, I think Amanda and I will be filming together again, so I'm looking forward to that. And we should have more unboxings for you as we move forward in the year. I certainly am not giving up any of my subscriptions, so even though I probably should. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you